Good morning. We got to get to Snoqualmie today and get food. I've been hungry for 2 days. And we are back on the PCT. Not bad, like 720. I can live with that. Just really need to upload some things and charge my batteries and get food, so I think we'll be good. What? Hazy IPA. Cute little Dr. Pepper. I'm gonna be selfish. I'm taking both. Thank you so much, person with the amazing Tacoma Scout camper combo setup. I am jealous of that setup right there. As I was coming down to this junction, 4, 5, 6 young ladies that were trail running up the hill told me about that cooler. And I had read about some trail magic coming into Snoqualmie Pass. I think there's a lot of people doing trail magic. But the first girl asked me, "Are you going to Canada?" And I said, "I'm trying, like I usually do." And she was just like awesome, you know. She seemed pretty happy to be out running anyway, but she was very positive and energetic. It just reminded me of Carson Pass and also Donner Pass and a few other times when you're coming into a town and people are aware of the PCT. There are a few spots in Oregon like that. The farther north you get, the less through hikers make it that far, possibly. So I think I said this before. It's just a cherry on top. You shouldn't need it, but to get that morale boost from somebody else's enthusiasm from what you're doing. And Keith gave everybody in the ride up to Chinook Pass a pep talk too, and he was really positive. He's like, "What you guys are doing is amazing," and he made a good point. By the time you get this far into it, you're a little desensitized and numb to it. You're just talking about what you're going to eat, what you're going to do in town, and you're not even thinking about the amazing accomplishment that you set out on. I remember when I first started the Appalachian Trail, because I started at Mount Greylock in Massachusetts going south, I met a lot of northbound hikers that had 3 states to go, so a little less than 600 miles. Maine and New Hampshire Maine's a little bit more than 200. New Hampshire might be a little less than 200. Vermont and whatever they had left in Massachusetts might have been around 200. But the point is, they were hyper-focused, just ready to be done talking about their 30, 35-mile days when they were going to finish. And I was brand new to hiking, but I remember questioning, are they even enjoying it anymore? And I remember saying to myself, I never want to be like that. Now on this trip, I absolutely have become like that. Right around the end of Oregon and the beginning of Washington. And I've come out of it. I've never been as aware of it as I am right now. But, you know, I stopped at the base of Mount Adams early. My foot was bothering me, my leg was bothering me. But I stopped a little early yesterday and just realized, you know, I'm at a beautiful lake in Washington, and this is gonna come to an end soon, so I don't know if it'll work out that I'll camp at another beautiful lake like Mirror Lake. But I do want to spend more time in my tent. I do want to keep everything I just said in mind and really appreciate the end of this trip. But you do have to focus on finishing, because every single one of these rocks is trying to twist my ankle. It's been a beautiful morning. It turns out there was an event on this stretch of the PCT. Now, I think that there would have been a lot of people out here hiking this morning anyway, but some people are trail running and taking part of this event, so it's just been a parade of people that I've had to step out of the way for, and a lot of families and a lot of dogs. You can't explain trail etiquette to dogs if I'm going uphill and they're going downhill. So I just kind of gave up and started getting out of everybody's way. I thought I'd be to these roads about 11, and it turns out I'll get there at 11:15 now. So if I don't get to Canada, it's everybody today's fault. Well, coming down into Snoqualmie was pretty rocky, and I've heard that the climb out is rocky. So I have to be prepared for that, whether I leave tonight or tomorrow. So we'll start here at the Laconia Market. I heard this is a good place for food and charging devices. We've been fed. Now it's time to go check out this Summit Inn hiker box and then go see what we can get for resupply at the Chevron. We should be able to double back to that Laconia Market and hang out until it's time to go back to the trail after that. I did pretty well for myself for my resupply. I added 1 serving of food to every snack I have, so instead of 2 packages of snacks, I have 3. I've just been really hungry these last couple of days. I'm in pretty good shape. Pack doesn't feel too heavy. I feel like I have enough food. Coffee and flavors are probably, more so coffee. Coffee is probably the one thing that I don't really have enough of, but if I laid off the coffee a little bit for 3 days, it might not be the worst thing I ever did. So I have 4 servings of coffee for each day. It is what it is. There's another market I could go to and see if they have any, but I'm just gonna go with what I have. I just got a couple of things I need to do on my phone. I need to charge my battery banks, and I need to flush my Sawyer squeeze, and that's it. I can head off, and the trail's right there. So a lot of people complain about Snoqualmie. A lot of people love it, so it's one of those 50-50, and if you ask 100 hikers, you might get 100 different opinions. But I don't think it's that bad. Everything's right here. I didn't mail myself a box, and I probably spent $115 for 3 heavy days worth of food. I decided to add to what I'm eating every day, so it's really like 3.5, 4 days worth of food probably. This combo was so good, I gotta play it back. Well, I just decided to get another one. It is a Silver Fur Fancy breakfast sandwich here at the Evo Cafe at the Firehouse in Snoqualmie Pass. I do keep switching up the iced coffee from a iced mocha to a iced cold brew pistachio. I've had 2 of each. So my devices are pretty much charged. I'm gonna eat this and get ready to head out on trail. It's basically just a bacon, egg, and cheese on a ciabatta roll with some greens and tomatoes and a fancy spread. I do not regret getting 3 of them. It's the second to least expensive sandwich, breakfast sandwich on their menu, which is why I got it, but it is absolutely delicious. And we are back on the trail. Pack feels good. I have 1 liter of water. I'll pass a water source shortly. It's about a mile from where the road intersects with the trail, and I'm looking for any flat spot away from the road. And road noise doesn't bother me that much. Depending upon what kind of road noise it is, it can be very soothing white noise, conducive to sleeping. So I just want a flat spot. I have a bit of climbing to start, so I can't really be picky as far as how many miles I want to walk. I just need to find a flat spot, and hopefully I don't have to walk too much past sundown to find one. Reading the far out comments, it's a little murky as to where the flat spots actually are. Well, it's 7:46. I've got myself into it just a little bit. The sun sets earlier now in Washington, but the sky isn't as dark as the trail is in tree coverage. So there's a campsite coming up in 15 minutes. Might not be the best campsite to stop at, but we'll have to see. And then there's another one in about a half hour, a little over a mile. So I shouldn't have to hike past 8:15, which doesn't sound too late, but I'll have to pull the headlamp out and do a little light hiking. The issue with that is it just makes it harder to find the camp spot, see what kind of flat spot you're dealing with, and then set up. Not impossible and not anything I've never done before. I just don't like night hiking anymore. I have old, tired eyes. I think that's another trail or Forest Service road. I think it's work. I don't even know what it is. If they're camping, that's the most organized campsite I've ever seen. It's like a small army. 8 miles into town. Grab a full resupply. 4 iced coffees. 3 overpriced breakfast sandwiches that were delicious. 4 miles out of town. Night hiked way longer than you wanted to. Had to settle on a slanted camp spot. But it doesn't matter because you're a hero.